I was heading home from the senior Powder Puff game at Hempfield High School. I had just dropped a friend off and I was heading back in the direction of my house.
Just a parent's worst nightmare when you're waiting for your kid to come home, but you've just fallen asleep and you get the phone call from the police saying that there's a really bad accident.
The night of my accident, everybody on the scene kept saying that they didn't think I was gonna live and they were preparing for the worst. I had broken sternum, 2 broken ribs, 2 punctured lungs, a lacerated spleen, a bulge in my carotid artery, but the worst of them all is my head trauma. My head was hit so hard that my brain was twisted in my head and there was some torn blood vessels throughout the brain.
The doctor comes out from the trauma room to the little waiting room and says, "I'm sorry, ma'am, there's nothing we can do. Her brain stem is being crushed. There is nothing we can do. She's brain dead."
She walked into the room, walked up to my bed, was holding my hand, telling me that God loved me and that she loved me and that it was okay for me to go, that she would see me again someday, that God loved me. And I moved my head towards her.
And all the nurses and doctors swarmed over top of her and me and said, "Oh my gosh," and they checked her pupils started to dilate. She was moving her head and she started to breathe over the vent herself. So they said, "This has never happened. She's not brain dead. These are all signs of not being brain dead. We're rushing her to into surgery," and they did brain surgery right away. They did a craniotomy and fixed some bleeding vessels in her brain, and they said, "We just don't know what's going to happen from here." It was very serious.
When I woke up, I was up at Hershey Rehab, and I thought that I still had class in the morning. I thought I was still a junior. So I woke up and I was like, what am I doing here?
She had head trauma as well as body trauma, but head trauma that was so severe that she couldn't move any part of her body. So as they started coming in trying to sit her up and wake her up and do things, she wouldn't do anything. All she could do is move her eyes.
I would lay there and sit there and be like, why is this not moving? Like, I'd be laying in bed and I'd have to get up to go do something, or I physically couldn't. My brain forgot how to push myself up, how to use my arms to put my arms back on my side and lift myself into the upright position. There were many days that I just sat there and cried and said, why me? I had my life going for me. I had applied to the college of my dreams. I had been accepted.
We had to give this entire situation to God. We had no control. There was nothing whatsoever we could do. And so we were at peace that, God, it's up to you, and we give you her. We give you everything about the situation. We were just at peace that, you know what, God was in control, and that was a blessing to us. In that time, it was very hard on her. She hurt like crazy. You could tell just by grimaces, but we just had little milestones every single day. One day she could move a finger a little bit, and that's how we learned how to talk to her. So the more that she understood how much she was helping other people by just being alive and by improving and by starting to move her fingers, her arms, her body, and then being able to walk, that was what made her stick it out and learn how to walk again.
I wasn't allowed to quit, not only with myself, but with my parents, and there was always that nudge, I think, from God, hey, try one more time. all that I could do was trust on taking those first steps. If I wouldn't have trusted God, if I wouldn't have taken that step of faith, I wouldn't have had that opportunity, or I wouldn't be where I am today. I'm feeling good, and I feel like I can run. Like, I'm gonna run.
Katelyn today works for me in my company. She's doing a fine job, and I think it's good for her and it's good for everybody in the company. She just brings a smile and a cheer to almost everybody. She just goes up to people and talks to people, and yeah, it's our new life. It's beautiful.
I would not go back and change the accident from happening. I've learned so much. I see life differently now. I see stuff that other people don't see.